If civilization is breaking down, I think the biggest surprise that you'll see in people is that there's going to be a need for people to be around other people. I know it sounds crazy, even as people turn on one another, even as resources are depleted and people fighting over resources, at a certain point, there's going to be a desire for people to really come together. And I know it sounds bizarre, but it's good. Without the technology, without the noise, without the gadgets and the stuff in our lives, people are going to realize the most valuable thing in their life is the people around them. So I think that's going to be the biggest surprise that a lot of people are going to experience in an SHTF situation in regards to people. But what do you think? What do you expect to be the biggest surprise when you look at how people interact with one another? Do you think there's going to be a lot more violence in the rural areas than you anticipated? Do you think people are going to be turning on one another a lot more than you anticipated? Do you think the biggest surprise is going to be that people are going to turn on one another very quickly? I think people will turn on one another quickly, but I also think that adversity gives people the opportunity to really reveal who they truly are as people. So I think that this is it's going to be a real challenge for a lot of people, but it's going to reveal people's true character. And that should be interesting. The whole thing is fascinating to me. That's why I like certain movies where they focus on SHTF. I was looking at this Netflix series called Ether Knox, and it's about these people who have to pull together, and some of them turn on one another, especially in that big apartment complex. People have to pull together and to deal with this crisis. Essentially, the snow drops, or it appears to be snow, and then once it touches people, it kills them. It's toxic, it's dangerous, and people have to survive. And people have to go indoors. They have to put on create suits, cover their faces, wear masks, all that stuff to really survive. It's really interesting. It's not American made, it's a foreign made adventure. So if you get a chance to check it out. Tell me what you think about it. I've seen several episodes. It's kind of interesting to me. It's dubbed, so it's an English dub over it. So check it out and enjoy it if you can. I just went to a movie today and I saw Fight or Flight. It was a better movie than I thought it was going to be. It starred Josh Hartnett as this former Secret Service guy who's been recruited to get on this plane and help this person. He doesn't know anything about the person. Help this person get to safety. Well, apparently that's the case. Anyway, there's a bunch of people on that plane trying to kill this person, and it's just really crazy. The trailer looked like absolute chaos, and the movie's kind of chaotic, but it was a lot better than I thought it would be. I cared more about the characters than I thought I would, and it was pretty entertaining. I gotta say that. I'm going to be seeing a lot of movies this year. I've seen Sinners. I'm probably going to see it again. I got one of those memberships for unlimited Rico or one of those Cinemax, whatever, Cinemark memberships. So I'm going to be checking that out. Going to the movies whenever I want. So I go enough. It makes sense. I go a lot. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about that right quick. Share your thoughts on that. I want to give you guys a quick little update on some of the stuff that I'm up to. All right. Thank you guys for responding to my last video. If you had to arm the U.S. military, if you had an opportunity to choose which sidearm they would go with, which one would you choose? Your results, not too big of a surprise. The number one answer was probably the Glock 19. I definitely understand that. I'm just thinking about what would be the best option for the largest amount of people. Who knows? I mean, Glock 17 was another close selection you guys went with. I'm surprised more people didn't say Glock 47 or Glock 45, the newer ones. Just a little surprise there. But some of you guys mentioned Walther PDP, which is pretty cool. I'm really interested in that gun. I have a lot of interest in that gun. The only experience I had with Walthers are the PPQ, which is an excellent gun. Really good trigger. But anyway, I was able to take one of my problem HK to the gunsmith, and he said there was no issue with it. The magazines were running fine. HK said it was fine except for the recoil spring. So I guess it's user error, but there was one magazine they didn't test. So I'm wondering if that was a problem child all along. I'm gonna look at that. It's marked, so I have that isolated from the other ones. Something I should have done in the first place, but anyway, this is a tactical, which I haven't had an issue with, but I don't shoot this as much as the regular one. The regular one is just pretty much my workhorse, and I love that gun. As far as ammunition, I do have a question about that. This is the type of ammunition I like to get. Hornady Critical Defense, Sig Sauer, Just really just quality, federal. When I practice, it's usually, especially with handguns, it's usually something lawmen lately. And when I get ammunition, I like to cycle through it. You know, so I'll get some new ammunition and then I'll start using some older ammunition. I never let the ammunition sit for a super long time, like for years and years. And ammunition can last pretty long, I know that. But what happens when you get some ammo and it's corroded? It's like green corrosion. It may still work, but I'm just wondering, is that even safe? All right, this is what I'm talking about. Probably not a big deal, but it's definitely a new experience for me. That's a little green spot. I mean, what the heck? This one looks decent. Here's another one. Anyway, I'm back with the Glock 30 as a spare, right? Spare mags. Actually, I have a light on my Glock 21 now, so a little bit different. But I just gotta get used to that. There's a lot of stuff to carry in addition to my flashlight and a knife. Just a lot going on. I got rid of that keychain. I replaced it with, for my wallet, and I replaced it with, if I can get it out, this option, a little lanyard. So that's what I'm rocking with right now. Yeah, I'm definitely used to just rotating my ammunition. I get some new ammunition, use the old one, and I'm always shooting at least once a month. Sometimes 2 or 3 times a month. But anyway, I'm gonna get some new Glock 21 mags, some Gen 5 mags, and I'm just gonna start using more of them and just pay a little bit more closer attention to the mags I'm using.